Where was Ndiangui Kinyagia? Now that's not my question. That is the chorus of a suspicious nation. A people trying to stitch together the jagged edges of a story that refuses to add up.
Indicates that the deponent was contacted on Tuesday.
The activist disappeared in the days leading up to Kenya's fiery Gen Z protests on June 25th this year, only to resurface gowned, dishevelled, and mysteriously shone off his iconic afro on July 3rd.
The media should be able to
Madam, please, now, thank you.
While his family breathed a sigh of relief, the rest of Kenya inhaled the pungent scent of a fish rotting in the sun, and for good reasons.
After that order was made, that was on Tuesday, as we have communicated to court, Mr. Ndiangui was able to contact one of his family members, and then to move a bit quickly, that is the manner in which he found his way to this court today.
You see, on the very day the High Court summoned DCI boss Mohamed Amin to explain Ndiangui's whereabouts, Kinyagia himself appeared in court as if on cue. His lawyer issued a carefully worded statement.
The affidavit indicates that the deponent was contacted on Tuesday, not yesterday. So for the correction of the...
Because we were able to process that and to advise him to come to court. And so to cut the story short, he is here. We have been heard again. And today the court has issued other orders after a number of applications and quite fair length.
Mr. Ndiangui, fearing for his life, went into hiding after learning that DCI officers were seeking him over unspecified allegations. He is now safe and ready to present himself to the authorities, provided his security is guaranteed, the lawyer said in a statement.
That in the meantime, Mr. Ndiangui gets into contact with his lawyers. As you see, we have just met him today, and we will be debriefing him, telling him what has been going on in court, and for him to tell us what has been happening to him. And it's after that that we now come and communicate to the court.
But Kenyans aren't buying it. They know their police forces reach. Critics have been smoked out of tighter hideouts than Kinyagia could possibly imagine. You see, in a country where the National Intelligence Service, NIS, can trace your location through a sneeze, the notion that Kinyagia successfully hid for nearly 2 weeks feels laughable, especially given what we know now. When DCI officers raided Ndiangui's house days earlier, they allegedly found it empty, though they carted away gadgets to aid investigations.
Ndiangui Kinyagia was a person of interest to us. After publishing very, very inflammatory material in the social media, I'm sure you all saw about the timetable and so on and so forth, which was trending in the social media. And our preliminary investigations established that that social media account belonged to the so-called Nangu. And we profiled him, we identified his residence, and our officers conducted a search at his apartment in Kino. Unfortunately, he was not in his apartment, but we managed to conduct a search and we were able to recover an assortment of electronic gadgets that we believe would be useful to us in our investigations. And we were able to do an inventory, which inventory was clearly countersigned by the caretaker of those apartments.
Yet, activist Boniface Mwangi contradicted this narrative, tweeting that a fleet of unmarked Subarus with distorted plates had stormed Ndiangui's apartment. Balaclavaed officers reportedly ransacked his home, seized his belongings, and whisked him away. Before he vanished, Ndiangui managed to send his family an inventory of the items taken. Since then, his phones were dead, and he was held, according to Boniface Mwangi, in incommunicado at a secret detention site. And the DCI flatly denied it.
So mine is to confirm to Kenyans that Ndiangui is not under the custody of the National Police Service. He is a person of interest to us, and wherever he is, I will urge that he submits himself and that he surrenders to the nearest police station.
Then came the Twitter prophecy that tipped the scales of public suspicion. 2 days before Ndiangui's reappearance, a pro-government account cryptically teased, "Kesho kijana wenyu atakuwa free, but atarudi akiwa polite ajab. Kwanza nasikia kamenyolewa." And right on schedule, Ndiangui emerged, hair shaved down to an awkward crop, looking less like a man in hiding and more like someone fresh from an interrogation room. Now, Kenyans were quick to connect the dots. Now, this wasn't the first time critics of the state had resurfaced looking broken and unwilling to speak. Earlier this year, activist Billy Mwangi returned from a similar disappearance with his head clean-shaved. Now, Ndiangui joins the roll call of government critics released with the same telltale signs: trauma in the eyes, silence on camera, and that eerie uniform haircut.
So the order is that we have a moment with him as family and as family advocates, and if need be, that he gets medical attention, and that he is not to be arrested by those who said that he is a person of interest until this matter is disposed of.
One Twitter user put it bluntly: "I've been examining the photo of Ndiangui Kinyagia. Findings: no one can pay a barber for such a haircut. Just like the other abductees, the DCI shaved him. Conclusion: Ndiangui was abducted, tortured, and asked to lie to the court that he was hiding."
And since today was for explaining the whereabouts of the second petitioner, and now that the second petitioner is in the court, it's proper and appropriate that the family has time with him together and the advocates and take instructions and possibly have him treated.
For now, Justice Chacha Mwita has barred police from arresting Kinyagia until further notice, allowing him some space to regroup.
Respondents have 7 days to file responses to the petition if they have not already done so. Once they serve, the petitioners will have 7 days to file a supplementary affidavit if need be.
Now, the National Police Service insists Kinyagia was never in custody and demands he report to DCI headquarters for questioning as a person of interest.
For having stamped his authority and ensured that Mr. Ndiangui Kinyagia be brought before this competent court of law. Were it not for the petition that was filed by the Law Society of Kenya, that I thank so much, today we would not be having Ndiangui Kinyagia. And we want to thank the Law Society of Kenya so much.
The Court of Public Opinion has already delivered its verdict. Something doesn't add up. And as Kenya's Gen Z sharpened their hashtags for round 2 of protests, In 7th July this year, Ndiangui Kinyagia's shaved head and nervous smile have become symbols of a deeper malaise in the state's handling of dissent.